Hey there. Hello. Ooh.
Hey there. Hello.
Why am I hearing myself?
Ooh. Hey there. Hello.
Oh, that's
Why
why.
am I hearing myself?
Well, hello and welcome. I am NibletK, and welcome to the Hype Down, the first ever episode of our little podcast where we will be talking about what is currently hype and what is not. Basically, on Twitch, we will be talking about no, not a professional setup. We are what we are. We are the underbelly of Twitch, and this is what we do. So, a little bit more an introduction. You probably heard a really bad music up until now, but don't worry, that's not gonna be on the YouTube afterwards. What I ended up doing is this. I had a second window opened and it was not muted. So you guys saw my stream as well. Oh, or heard my stream as well. That's why I heard myself as well. I was like, what's going on? I muted that thing. All right. Welcome. Inception, yeah. Welcome, everyone. Like I said, welcome to the Hype Down. I am going to be your host. We are going to be rambling a lot and taking also a look at games and Twitch specifically. That said, our title is just a normal pilot episode title. So we don't have a clear title for today, but we are going to celebrate by drinking a beer. Now I cannot open this with a plushy remote, but I can open it with a beer opener. Which also has a magnet. So that's cool. So here's cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us along. This is going to be a show where we will grow together. So whatever it is that we're going to do on this channel, whatever it is that we're going to talk about on this channel is going to slowly grow by what you guys also bring in as topics or as guest appearances or anything else like that. So we'll just see, and we're just gonna wing it. As a professional streamer, that's what you do. You wing it. Cheers, guys. That is good. So let me just okay. Good. Had to save my game. Okay, I have here some notes. Wow, that looks weird. So some notes. So it's not totally random. But we are going to talk firstly. We're going to take a look at Twitch itself. So what are the top things that are currently occurring on Twitch? Now you are going to see my Twitch page. This is the browse section, and up in the left corner, gotta turn my mind around, you will see some of my follows. And yes, I am following a lot of high-end streamers as well, also as well some more unknown streamers that have no views or just a couple of tens or hundreds of viewers. So that said, you're always going to have the popular channels pop up first. So as you guys can see, a lot of people are playing Valorant. Now that is going to be our first topic for today. we're gonna be talking a little bit about Valorant. Now, what the hell is Valorant, and why are so many people watching guys play Valorant? There are currently 833,000 viewers all around watching this game. Okay, CSGO meets Overwatch. That is very well said. It is a competitive shooter by Valve, I believe. So, the makers of League of Legends, if I'm not mistaken. Riot. Yeah, Valve is Steam. I'm sorry. Welcome to the noob heaven with me, your god, NibletK. So, let's see. We can already see Tim the Tatman, Yasuo, Summit, Anomaly, and then some other lower tier, basically. XQC is there, Myth is also there. So yeah, these guys have a lot of viewers. Like, this guy has 100k, 60k, 50k, and stuff like that. Now, the reason why people are watching these streams is because they want to get the game. The only way you can get the game now, from what I understand, maybe it's not the case anymore, but was only through Twitch drops. And it was a real riot, so to say. So what they ended up doing is they flew out all of these guys. Let's watch some Summit, because he is mostly funny. So we're gonna watch a little bit of Summit in the background. We're not gonna listen. Okay, I just made new rule as we go. We're gonna watch, or we're gonna feature another streamer. Also, what the hell is going on here? Whatever. I don't know. My green screen is not the best quality. So, let's talk a little bit about Valorant and what they did. So what they ended up doing is they made a campaign, basically. They flew out all of these high-end Twitch streamers, YouTubers, and stuff like that. And they were like behind closed doors, and they could play the game. They could not stream it, so they wouldn't be able to stream it. The only thing they could do is record their footage. Now, they did have an embargo, and they could show the footage that they captured from that place on a specific date. So yeah, a lot of people ended up having streams with basically them sitting and watching a video of them playing at that event. And Twitch activated, I guess it was Twitch in conjunction with Riot, made this so that you could only get, I think it was an alpha key or something like that, or early access key to the game by Twitch drops. So you would have to watch these streamers look at the video of them playing a game a couple of days ago for the first time. And that's it. Now, I don't know if Twitch drops are still a thing over here, but it did fluctuate. It did influence a lot of the viewing. Now, these people have a lot of viewers because of the drops, because apparently not everyone, even after you got the game, it's not like you could have the drops enabled as soon as you were playing the game. So only a handful of people had these drops. So yeah, that was kind of bullshit, I guess, because it really helped the big guys out like even more. And it's really weird because in these kind of things, smaller communities, smaller streamers might have a chance to do something, right? It gives them a chance to shine, I guess. Do you think it's BS or good marketing? I think it's a little bit of both. It's an interesting concept of marketing, but it could be done a lot better. That is my opinion. It's bullshit because of the entire integrity of being really exclusive to the people that are already like at the top of their game and not giving a fair chance to everyone basically. It is nice that they implemented Twitch drops in a way. I guess marketing it like that would be something interesting, like giving it to a handful of people, but maybe like doing a normal stream from the developers showcasing the game, and they would get the views, and then the people that get there start spider webbing it out and further giving it away. That would be a nice thing. But how they did it, it was a little bit yeah. And yeah, like I said, there were people who were just doing rebroadcasting of their past video or whatever. They weren't even live basically. It was just a rebroadcast, and they would still get like tens and thousands of viewers, because people want access to the game, and that was the only way. So yeah, that was a little bit scummy, I guess. Yeah. For instance, I know that JP McDaniel, Eat Me JP, is also a streamer that I watch throughout my Twitch live. And as you guys can see right now, he has in a talk show about 4K viewers, which is normal for him. He's a constant between 2 and 4,000 viewers. When he was streaming Valorant, he had like 150 to 200 viewers, because people would come into his chat, ask, "Hey, do you have drops enabled?" And he was like, "No, unfortunately not." So people would be just like, "Oh, okay, cool. And then I'm just gonna go watch someone else who has." That's just the current state. Now then, let's go back to our browsing category. We are always going to find at the top, we're always going to find our Fortnites, our League of Legends, our Dotas. Excuse me. Now we have also Counter-Strike. What is FIFA doing there? Whatever. Ignore FIFA. That is like FIFA. It is its own thing. That you're either a FIFA player or you're whatever else. Doesn't even matter. Okay. And then we have our normal things like Hearthstone, Overwatch. These are the kind of games that are unending. These are the kind of things that you as a small time streamer or a big time streamer can stream for days and days and days and days, and you're always going to have content. You're always going to be able to form a community around it. So things like this, some are easier, some are harder. For instance, at Counter-Strike or something like Valorant or stuff like that, I get it why the people that are at their top of their game are also at the top of Twitch, because they are really good at competitive shooting or whatever it's called. Not everyone can come in and start playing at that level. It takes years of practice. It takes a lot of, time and dedication. And let's face it, as a new streamer or as a smaller streamer, you do not have that luxury, especially when you're starting out. And yes, this is going to be something we are going to revolve around a lot. We're going to do a lot of min-maxing or taking a look at what it is that you can do, what it is that newer streamers can do, small time streamers. the struggle, the hustle, the grind. We're gonna be talking about all of this kind of stuff. Okay, let's get back to Hearthstone. Now, Hearthstone is a card game. Card games are simpler to get in, and I'm gonna talk about Hearthstone specific. I played Hearthstone as well, and even though there are a lot of people that play Hearthstone, it's easier to be, how should I say it? It's easier to be a entertaining Hearthstone player because you don't have to be the best. There are a ton of other things that you can do. There's also RNG involvement, so you can get lucky. You don't have to be like the best deck creator because you can just net deck, so you can copy other people's decks, you can see what other people are playing, and you can mimic that basically and still have a lot of fun. You can grow your community, you can start playing against other players, against friends, against viewers, and stuff like that. In a shooter, it's a little bit harder. Then there are your MOBAs, which are always going to be there. That is also a little bit more skill intensive and RNG based because depending on how good you are, you're going to also have matchmaking, which puts you in, matches with other people of the same level as you are. So the better you are, the better your teammates are going to be. So, quote unquote, that is what, matchmaking should be. I'm not taking a swing at anyone, Blizzard. But, you get your random BS sometimes, and you can lose a game. You can lose a game because of bad teammates. So that's also a little bit not the best thing to start out with. But if it's your favorite game, it doesn't really matter with what you start out with on Twitch. If you like any game possible, and you want to start streaming it, if you're doing it for the love of just having fun, and maybe you have like a group of friends, and you just want to hang out with them, because you can't like in real life or whatever, then you just stream and they can hang out in chat and you can still have a decent conversation or whatever, and you share your love of the game. If you're thinking of trying to do streaming as a profession, as a real profession, as your job, then it is a lot of work. Streaming is not easy. I have been doing it now for over 3 or 4 years. I haven't even counted the years, the months, the weeks, the days, the hours. But I have been doing it a long time now, and I haven't been successful at all. I'm successful in meeting new people and having a couple of friends. But other than that, I know it's a long grind, and the chances of making anything possible are really slim, almost slim to none. You gotta invest a lot of time and effort, first of all, in your streaming schedule, second of all, in what you are streaming. And I have been all around. I've been trying a lot of stuff, and right now I'm starting to dial it down, and we're going okay. Everything's good. But yeah, and you also gotta do things outside of Twitch. And that is where a lot of people will like just hit a brick wall and will not understand that just by hitting go live and sitting there playing the game, not doing anything, just like will not get you viewers, will not help you grow, will not help you in either way. People are gonna come in, maybe if they even find you. So you gotta have luck. You gotta put in time outside of Twitch, and that means every kind of social media, from I can't believe I'm gonna say this, from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to TikTok. Yes, TikTok, that verkackte thing. I hate TikTok, but whatever, that's besides the point. I'm not using it, but it's a tool at your disposal. It's a free tool at your disposal that can get you eyes upon you. If anyone sees you, finds you on Twitch after that, and you might start a conversation. You might start a friendship relationship about games, about what it is, whatever it is. Any tips for someone who doesn't have charisma to be able to be more entertaining? Well, you can be a nice, super chill guy, and I'm gonna give you a really good example, like a really high-end streamer. A Hearthstone streamer is Kripparrian, and Kripparrian is not known to be like the most energetic or interesting guy, so to say. If you're gonna watch his streams, he's like really down to earth. He's like, oh, okay, so now okay, yeah, thanks Blizzard. Okay, yeah, that's a really balanced card. Of course, if he draws that, then it's game over because that's how it is. So we're gonna do a meme deck. We're just gonna draw all of our legendaries doing this insane combo, and yeah, thanks. So what I'm trying to say is that he built his community up by playing certain games and trying to be as good as he can at them, but he got a really good coverage as well from his YouTube. And of course, he also, I think he competed in some events. I'm not sure, but when he started with Hearthstone, he was just like one of the first to jump on the bandwagon of Hearthstone. There weren't many streamers of that thing, so I guess that's also a lucky thing when something new is out. But now that is not the case anymore, because whenever something new appears, we are already like so many more people on Twitch that all try the same thing. It's like dropping a piece of bread inside of a pool that is filled with fish, hungry fish, and they're all the same fish, but where you drop it, only the fish around it will get to feast on that. Like the fish that are outside of the perimeter, no one will. It's game over for them. They gotta move on to the next thing. Hope that something else drops near them. Basically, that's a bad analogy, maybe, I don't know. Whatever. But you get my drift. So what I would say still, if you're doing Let's Plays, find your niche. I mean, you don't have to be energetic. You don't have to be anything. Just try not to be like super down or whatever. And in your case, if it is that you feel like you're raging, try to tell your opinion in a normal fashion, not too exaggerated and not too dumbed down. So you can rage, you can whatever, you can share your opinion. That's fair game. Everything is fair game. If you're someone that rages a lot, that might be like incentive for people to watch you. People just like shitting on you and making you mad and making your day miserable, because people on the internet are just trolls and they like doing that. But other than that, I don't know. Like I said, try social media. You don't have to be the best when you're live. People can get to know you, but try doing specific things, maybe on Twitter, maybe on Facebook or something like that. Try making like a normal guide or your kind of review. Anything goes. Your top 5 likes or dislikes about a new game. people go after those, and if they can find anything which with which they can relate to, they might check you out. They might enter a conversation. Uh, start the conversation by any means necessary. Just try to get eyes on you and people to get involved at least for a little bit, because that's how friendships also work, right? You meet someone and you're not like best friends with someone from the get-go. You gotta invest your time and whatnot, and something has to be there, something that binds you together. If it's an activity, if it's something, in this case it has to be one of the social media things or something, and then it has to be like a game that you guys can talk about, and from there on, you know that's all in good theory. Now, me personally, I do not like competitive games for streaming, as in for people to try them out. It's okay if you're into that. Like I said, if it's something that you really enjoy, then do it for your enjoyment. You will eventually you will have a community around that if you actually do enjoy that thing, and you will do that for a long time. If you're not sure, try it out for a little bit, but don't get stuck on it. Don't get stuck on a specific thing. Feel free to try a lot of things. Excuse me. Okay. Let's get back to something else. Okay. These other things, as you guys can see, there's only like the top two rows are like the most played, whatnot, and whatever. The viewership starts going down tremendously once you start going down on the rows. For instance, we have, and I know someone in chat is going to be flipping at his screen right now, we have Animal Crossing. Now, Animal Crossing was during this week and last week also. It was really hyped. Everyone was playing it. Everyone. What? I don't understand the question. Whatever. Like I said, everyone was playing it, but now when you look at it, the numbers have gone down. Yeah, there are still a handful, but they don't have thousands of views. They have hundreds of viewers, right? And the more down you go, the viewership is little. So, a lot of people can still accumulate or grow their communities with a game that was hyped, and everyone, all the big fish, were playing it when it was hype, and the hype went down, thus the hype down, and that is where we come in. After a thing was done by the top, there's still like an aftermath and after hype, and that is where you should play the things that were like hyped a week ago, 2 weeks ago, right? If you get into those games, there are still people, there are still viewers that are inside of those communities that might still want to look at gameplay of that specific game. Now, there are lesser high-end streamers that are playing the game because they already moved on to other things. So that is where you can accumulate other viewers for yourself as well. So was wondering if you know who like assesses AC is online or not in the chat without nominating the person. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not nominating anyone. And I do not know if he is in chat. He probably is. Because he is watching currently, because he is my friend. So I love you. But yeah, like I said. So what's the deal with Animal Crossing? Let's take a look at someone who's small. Let's take a look at someone who's smaller. This is German. Italian, no. Polish, no. Okay, 20 viewers and whatnot. I don't know. Short stream, tall streamer. Hello, Mr. Seamoose. Okay, Seamoose. Right, so Animal Crossing. So he's doing all he can right now. He doesn't have a lot of viewers, but he's having a lot of fun. Obviously. So that is also something that you could do. If it is a game that you are hyped about, it might not be the best thing to buy it and play it on the day it is launched. So whenever something is live, I know I have been waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am hyped about it. You, on the other hand, you are done. You are done playing it. You might like it, you might love it, you might hate it. Doesn't matter. You're done. You played it. So has everyone else. Now, everyone else is done with it. Now I get to enjoy it on my own terms. And as well, people who are going to want to see more of that game will have a higher chance of finding me on Twitch than if I would have started the game the same as everyone else when it came out. That for me is like 0% chance of discoverability. Doesn't matter what you do at that point on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. It does not matter because everyone else is doing the same thing at the same time. And let's face it, people that have more eyes on them will always be featured first, I guess, in those kind of medias anyway. So yeah, that's that. So what I'm saying is, if you have a community that already knows you, so we're talking about over 100 people, then you can kind of do like what the fuck you want. You can do it even if you don't care. If you're just streaming for fun, and like I said, if you're not really thinking about business, blah blah blah, and I want to be a streamer, all right, that's my dream job and all that, and you're just doing it for fun, for your friends or whatever, for the couple of people that watch you, and you just want to have fun at the same time, you want to talk, it doesn't matter. Then you can do whatever you want. It's all fair game. But then don't be expecting to grow as a Twitch streamer. So yeah, if you want to do that, do it. If not, if it's something you really want to play, I suggest waiting for, like a week to maybe 2 weeks take a look at the top streamers that are currently playing that game that you are invested in. See what their numbers are, see what they are doing. If you don't want to get spoiled by the story, just drop in for a little bit maybe. Just give them a follow. You don't have to watch their streams, you just need to follow them, at least for the time being. If you so desire, for your own research, you can follow them. Then you can see their numbers over there, you can see what they're playing, you can see how much they are playing it. Once they're done with it, you will see that they moved on. Then you can consider playing it yourself. Another viable strategy, so to say, is to wait even longer when everyone has forgotten about the game, and wait for the next hype thing that is kind of like the same thing. So for instance, now we are going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. That thing is very hyped now. When the new one, let's say Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, will appear like in 2 years, then is before that thing, or when it's announced, let's say there's an announcement, a really hype announcement that Square Enix is working on a DLC or on the continuation of Final Fantasy. When everyone's talking about that, then you can also play through the game. Even if you played before, doesn't matter, but then you might reconsider streaming that game yet once more and have like a catchy title for hype for Square Enix's new DLC, blah blah blah. Let's revisit Final Fantasy VII Remake one more time to remind ourselves, or something like that. People are gonna generally feel the same if they see those kind of things. Now let's actually take a look at our Final Fantasy VII. Okay, there are still people that have pretty high numbers. Pretty high numbers. But they're like only the top have like really big numbers, and then we really go down to the hundreds. So not a lot. So it's already starting to dial down. Cinnamon Toast Ken. Is he on? Okay, he has a 1080. Whatever. So even he is not really high. I think he has higher numbers usually, but not now. Okay, let's talk about the why do I stream? That is a good question. So, why do you want to stream? We already talked about this a little bit. The main thing that people want to see is people that are real, that are true. So when they are playing their games, you want to see that the streamer is invested in it. So you gotta play for fun. If it's really obvious that you're doing it like a job, like someone who is there to press the button, and you see them being like a slave or something like that, and they're not having fun, you don't want to interact. You don't want to have to do anything with that person, right? So I guess you really gotta have a lot of fun doing that. Now granted, there is also issue that there are a lot of people that think streaming is a kind of service for your looks and you should get paid because you look in a certain way, which I think is very dumb. But there are services that you can do, I guess, on Twitch. So you can stream other things other than games. For instance, what I find very enticing are musician streams, cooking streams are really cool, and of course, arts and crafts. Then there are also like podcasts and stuff like that, so you could find something interesting that you're interested in, something other than just games, and get into that. Get into that community. Maybe you like, I don't know, drawing or something like that, or coding. There's even stuff like that. So you can get in touch with a lot of stuff, with a lot of people and a lot of diverse things. It's just a little bit harder to search for them because games play such a huge percentage, a huge amount. They play such a huge role in Twitch's viewership and income and whatnot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Viewers also equal the numbers. So when you hear streamers talk about their numbers, they always talk about their viewership. The better the numbers, the better you are. Or at least that's what they say. It doesn't matter. So what is the next hype thing? What is the next hype thing? The next hype thing that people are going to be playing now is, I guess, Persona 5 Royal. Now that is not really everyone's cup of tea because it is a JRPG. It's very anime, it's very Japanese, it's very long, it's a very long game. So a lot of grinding, a lot of stuff, a lot of story, a lot of characters. It's a cool thing. We can take a look at JP in the background a little bit. So this is Persona 5 Royal. JP is also not the most interactive person with chat, but he is having a lot of fun. And he's not the kind of person to go easy on people that are being assholes in his chat room. He's gonna call you out and he's going to trash you as well. So it doesn't really matter. The whole idea is that he built his community around other things. He has like a D&D show where they play D&D online. Then he has some podcasts as well. So he's talking a lot about games as well. So a lot of people can relate to him on that level. He was also a shoutcaster for StarCraft, I believe. And even then, he wasn't the most energetic one. But like I said, once you get, just like in a friendship, you're not always gonna be bragging in your friend's ear about everything, or I don't know. But if you have the same interests, you will occasionally talk about that 80% of the time whenever you hang out. Like Total Biscuit and Sid Alpha. I don't know who Sid Alpha is. I know who Total Biscuit was. And I really like TB. He was a cool guy. Helping out a small guy. Okay. We're gonna touch a little bit upon postings Follow for follows, which is a no-go. Do not do that. That is some total utter bullshit. That is just nah. You want everything to grow organically. Husky? Yeah, husky, I think, yeah. So, if you're in a community that is based upon let's help each other out and let's help other streamers and whatnot, if you're really invested in that, sure, okay. But most of the times, you're basically helping them, not yourself. Not that much. Maybe just a little bit. You gotta be really. Basically, you're investing more time into their stuff, so you could get like a little bit of a noticement, a little bit of appreciation. If you would dedicate that much time and effort that it would take for like that sort of communities, you would form your own community. Just saying it. If you really want to invest a lot of time and effort, really sit down with yourself, like make a little scrapbook with the things that you like, the things that you hate, um, what they mean to you, what it is that you think would be interesting for someone else to relate to you. So if you like a specific game, feel free to tell people why. Feel free to put it out there, explain why. Continue on that. And you will find other people that maybe agree or disagree with you, and then invest the time in having conversations with that and building upon that, and so on and so on. Follow for follow. Yeah, that is a bad thing, and never do it. Truly, really, never do it. Also, hosting. It is okay once you get to the point where you have like a specific group, because a lot of people are also streaming. So the first people that you're going to befriend most of the times on Twitch are actually other people that also stream, that are also Twitch streamers. So it's okay if you have like, just have fun, talk about streaming, talk about that, help each other out. Hey, cat. What's up? So yeah, talk about that. Your first friends probably are gonna be streaming buddies. You can host one another, it's no problem, but keep in mind that that doesn't really help you grow because you're just going around in a circle. Um, Hosting bigger streamers is also not really viable because most you will get like a thank you and like a small shout out, thank you, blah blah blah, for the host. No one really cares who hosted, because people that are already there are not gonna be like, oh, let me see who hosted, let me see who this guy is, blah 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 blah. They don't care. They are there because of the person that they are watching. So, like I said, your best bet is outside of Twitch to get people interested. Let's talk a little bit about gaming fatigue. If you are really invested in a game and one game alone, and you think that is your best bet in making it, you are wrong, or you're in for a really tough and long journey. Like I said, if you want to be good at a specific one game, you have to invest a lot of time. A lot of time. Time, effort, money, even. Most probably, because let's face it, you're gonna need good hardware, you're gonna need probably the best skins, because that, skins are always like the best thing. If you don't have the latest skin, you can't shoot well in Fortnite. That's a given fact. You're just crippled by the game if you don't have all the skins, and you know but it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna come back a little bit to Hearthstone. That's a game that is constantly being evolved, constantly putting new content out. League of Legends, Dota, whatever. You don't necessarily have to invest all of the money in it, but you're probably gonna have to a little bit. Not everything makes you better at the game. Most definitely not the money. The money does not make you better at the game. It helps you stay on top, maybe a little bit. But most of those games, if you actually do end up playing a lot, then you are competitive. You are competing with the others. And that is why I'm saying that you need to invest a lot of time and effort, because if you actually want to be in the same ranks as the other ones that are putting the time and effort, you have to sacrifice so much. So much. I can only talk from experience of Hearthstone. Even though me, as a normal player, has the same cards, I can just drop my wallet, just take the wallet and drop it down into Blizzard's hands, give me all of the cards. I just buy all the packs, open them up until I have the entire thing. It's still up to me to have good decks. Now, I might be a genius and figure out something randomly by next finishing a deck and having like the best things possible in there. Still doesn't make me the best player. I could be better than 10 players that are high legend. I might be better. I might actually beat them in a one-on-one match. It still doesn't matter, because they invest more time in it. And that is why people also look at them more. With more time, they gather more games, more wins, even if they lose more than I do, they still win more than I do. So playing more, they get more ahead. Also, playing more, they increase their skills even further. So knowledge is king. Certain combos, certain cards, certain things, certain meta changes and stuff like that, it all gets higher and higher. That's why people that are at their top of their game know a lot of stuff. But like I said, they dedicate a lot of time and effort for that. You cannot compete, even if you are good. You cannot compete on that level. Not if you have a job, a family, I don't know. You would have to be like a kid that only goes to school, and when you come home, you sink your head into the PC. Then you sleep, go back to school, or drop out. I don't know. It's weird. It's something I shouldn't say, something you shouldn't do, definitely. But that's how it is. So it's hard. It's not impossible, but it just takes like a lot of dedication. So yeah, That's definitely the hardest thing. Variety is easier because, like we talked before, you can always find certain niches, certain things that you can hop on and off. There's always going to be a constant change. If something doesn't work out for a couple of weeks, another game comes along, and maybe that will help you on, acquiring a better viewership. Maybe even help you grow as yourself, because I have no idea how it is to grow as a person on Twitch, because I can't see myself that way. But I know I have grown, even though I'm at the same numbers. I'm not as shy anymore. I am more open and I am having more fun. There are people, for instance, like Man vs. Game. He's the kind of person that will take a game and grind the living shit out of it, as hard as it is, and he'll be frustrated with that game very much. He likes playing these kind of things where you really have to fight and bosses kill you instantly, or dumb mechanics, or really hard BS, whatever. He's just gonna grind the living shit out of it. He's gonna smash his head against the keyboard or controller or whatever until he finishes the game. That's just his motto. Not everyone can do that. Games are made in such a way nowadays that they are so, I don't know, so frustrating after a while that you just don't want to play it. And if you yourself are not having fun anymore, or don't get me wrong, you can be frustrated with a game and still like it and still enjoy yourself, but you just have your raging moments, you have your BS whatnot that happens once in a while, or something like that. You can rage positively when something is hard or whatever. It's still the fun of the game if you find enjoyment in that. And then there are other things where you can see and you can feel it down in your inner core that it's not fun for you. You just want this game to end. You just want to be done with it. You feel like you're dragging along, like putting overtime in a night shift or something like that. I don't know. And at that point, you gotta figure out, well, if this is not fun for me, it's definitely not fun for my viewers. Unless your viewers are like sarcastic little trolls that really fuel themselves upon your rage and anger and misfortune. That could also be a thing. If you're going for that kind of community, if that's the kind of person you are, okay, more power to you. But let's face it, if you're not, and you end up in such a thing, feel free to just pull the plug on a game, pull the plug on a playthrough, pull the plug on whatever it is that you did before, and just feel free to try something new, try something different. Don't always think about the numbers. Oh, I'm playing this and I'm known for this, and a lot of people want to see me be angry at Street Fighter or whatever. But I hate fighting games. I'm done with them. I don't want to play them anymore. I want to play Animal Crossing and just chill. Do it. Just do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure, the people who watched you for that might not want to watch you anymore, but chances are that almost 50% of the people that are there watching, they know you for who you are and they want to see you have fun, and they're going to stick around, and new people are going to come and enjoy your your growth again, your progress, and you're gonna be a happier person as well. Again, we are talking everything in theory. Everything is theory and to be taken with a grain of salt. Nothing we will talk about is 100% guaranteed, because success, especially on Twitch, is not a 100% success rate. There is no formula, otherwise everyone would be rich and no one would be watching Twitch, everyone would be streaming it. Never mind. There is nothing like that. We are kind of okay. We are kind of due. We managed to talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna touch a little bit upon a smaller game that is currently gonna have a little bit of hype. I don't know if it's out now. I haven't done my research that much. We're gonna search for Grift Lands. Let's take a look. As you guys can see, this game now is played by a couple of higher end streamers. Most of them are that are currently now that I'm seeing are former, like Regis and Dog are former Hearthstone players or card based players. It's also a card based game, but it revolves around deck building and you're fighting against PC. So you're not fighting against other people, you're fighting against an NPC basically. It is story based. There is a story. There are different routes you can take. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the game, but it's something that current streamers are hyping up right now. So feel free if this might be something that you might enjoy, or if you like basically card games or turn-based strategies, stuff like that. This might be a thing for you. It is very Slay the Spire-esque, which was like the first kind of deck building game that was like really hype a year or two ago. It still is a good game. So like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people playing a lot of Griftlands. Yeah, Griftlands right now. So you guys saw the browsing part. Not a lot of people are there. If you would jump on this wagon right now, you would surely be found more easily. Just as a thing. Then there's Doom, which was another thing that people are starting to be less hyped about. So now might be also a good time to play Doom Eternal. Other than that, if you own a PlayStation 4, this is only for the PlayStation 4 owners. Definitely check out. They have a free bundle basically of 2 games. We have the complete Nathan Drake collection, so that's the Uncharted, and we have Journey for free. So definitely check those out. Grab them. I don't know for how long they are free. It is their stay-at-home package with the whole coronavirus thing that is now out. It is a nice thing to have. You do not have to have the PlayStation Plus membership. They are just free right now. So get them, download them, just acquire them. Even if you're not planning on playing them right now, let them sit in your library basically. And yeah, they will be over there. Other than that, another good thing to do, is okay. I'm just gonna touch upon this a little bit. To everyone who's still obsessed or still retarded about, not retarded, redacted, not redacted, frustrated, still frustrated about the whole um, Epic Game Store, whatever it was, like a couple of years ago already. You don't have to like it, you don't have to use it, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. I'm just saying that it is a free service, you're not paying anything for it, and each week there are free games that you can acquire for free. Just acquiring it, not installing it, not doing anything. Just acquire it. It will be inside of your library. It won't go away. It'll be there for when you want to play it. And this week, up until the 23rd of April, we have Just Cause 4 and Wheels of Aurelia. So there are random games, some of them newer, some of them older, whatever. You can always look at discounts as well. And the upcoming week, we are going to have For the King, which is a challenging blend of strategy, turn-based combat, and roguelike elements. Okay, For the Kings is a good game. It's an older kind of style game. Oh yeah, that's also something we're gonna have to talk about. What games can you stream, and what is your streaming capabilities? It's an indie game. Oh, cool. It looks cool. We're gonna have indie sections, I guess. Like I said, this is only the first ever pilot episode of our podcast. We're gonna be evolving together. So whenever we're gonna have interesting thoughts, ideas, interesting things that we might want to implement inside of our podcast, inside of our show, we'll do it. So indie talk could be a nice section that we could implement. And we're just gonna write that down. Indie talk. We can talk about indie games. That is also like a vast thing that can be a new thing of discoverability. Because not everyone is playing that, but still you find some gems and people still want to play games. And if you find cool and interesting games and you play them, you put them on YouTube, you do a little review, you do a little blurb about them, you share them on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever, people are gonna get interested. Was on Twitch Prime 2 some time ago. Oh yeah, cool. That's also a nice thing to have. Don't forget, if you have Twitch Prime, don't ever forget to check your boxes, your free shit. You get a lot. Each month you get a couple of games. 4 to 5, depends. Maybe even 6, I don't know. Sometimes it was 6. Doesn't matter. I already have like a huge library of games that we still need to play. And my Epic library is also vast. These are all free games. These are all games I haven't paid a dime for. And we have some really good ones. Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is a huge game. Then we have the entire Batman series. We have Assassin's Creed. We have some indie games as well. Doesn't matter. Hob is a good game. Just Cause is just now. Metro. Okay, Metro. I think I bought. That's about it. Mutant Year Zero. But yeah, you can't acquire these games now only by paying for them. So, like I said, definitely if you want free games, it's free. Just download the launcher and take a look each week what there is. Just accept them. Let them sit and stew inside of your library until the day comes where you're like, what should I play now? This looks good. Let me see. Let me try it. You can at least try it. And if you don't like it, there's always the uninstall button. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff as well. I think that's about it for our first show. We're gonna call it a night. We're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it an evening. We're gonna call it done. That said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I am NibletK. You can find me on Twitch from Monday to Friday, usually at about 6 p.m. Berlin time. I don't know what the official time zone is. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So we're gonna do that on specific weeks where I have to work late shift in my real job, because I do have a real job. CET, okay, Central Eastern Time, I think. Like I said, I am usually on Monday to Friday. When I'm not, it is because I am working. And other than that, please check out my Twitter for posts and stuff like that, for notices. Also, check out my YouTube if you have missed a live show, or if you want to see different playthroughs and different nerdy unboxings and stuff like that. I do a variety of content that is not necessarily focused on games, but not too much. So yeah, that said, thank you guys again. We will definitely be continuing the show, and we're gonna grow it together. Thank you so much, chat, for being active and for dropping by and doing all that. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys. See you Monday, when we will be starting our Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough. Fingers crossed that everything works out at least decent so that we can play it together. Bye bye.